I'm Lisa Fletcher for Spotlight on America. 90% of hospital patients receive an IV, a trusted way of getting drugs. But we discovered a serious health threat might be lurking, not in the medications, but in the very vehicle delivering them. The drip of medicine comes when we are at our most vulnerable. IV bags and tubes delivering often life-saving medications to premature babies, accident victims, and cancer patients. But the very equipment carrying those crucial treatments may be undermining our care, leaching chemicals into our bodies.
I think at first it was shock and then just anger and maybe a little bit of confusion of why would companies do that.
The chemical is DEHP, used to make plastic flexible. It can be found in significant concentrations in millions of IV bags and hospital tubing systems in the U.S. But it doesn't stay there. Studies show the chemical can leach from plastic equipment directly into the blood. In premature babies who require medical device intervention, a Johns Hopkins study found daily exposure to DEHP can reach levels 160,000 times higher than what's considered safe for a baby's liver. For decades, DEHP has been linked to neurological effects, multiple cancers, and reproductive issues. And studies have shown it can sabotage the effectiveness of chemotherapy for breast cancer patients.
Having cancer it's already such a shock, and it is such a fight to go through all the treatment, all the doctor's appointments, and then to find that the thing that, again, it's supposed to be helping you is can be causing more harm.
Cyndia Cheng was diagnosed with breast cancer about a year ago.
You think about the risks of taking the medication or going through the chemo, the side effects, all of that. You don't think about the vehicle in which it's being delivered.
Patients with higher levels of DEHP in their system have been shown to be at higher risk of breast cancer relapse and death.
So when you think about the IV bag that your chemotherapy is in and the IV tube that it goes through is potentially undermining your treatment, what's going through your head?
That makes me so angry. It feels like betrayal in a way. I don't even have words.
But she had a resource many patients don't, knowledge of the invisible problem from a close friend whose job is to advocate for breast cancer prevention.
This is a fixable issue, that we don't have to be exposed to toxic chemicals when we go into the hospital and have toxic chemicals pumped into our veins from an IV bag.
Suzanne Price is the CEO of Breast Cancer Prevention Partners.
The federal government banned this from children's toys because they knew it wasn't safe for children to be sucking on.
If DEHP has been deemed so toxic that it has to be taken out of children's toys, how is it still in products that leach directly into a person's blood?
I wish I had a better answer for you other than that is the way our system works. It's there just because it's allowed to be.
Despite decades of science revealing its danger. All the way back in 2002, the FDA suggested manufacturers eliminate DEHP in certain products. In 2021, key lawmakers blasted the agency for allowing decades to pass on this critical patient safety issue while doing very little to reduce the use of the chemical. The American Academy of Pediatrics, the American Medical Association, and the American Public Health Association have also raised serious concerns and called for alternatives.
The FDA warned about this 20 years ago. What is the agency's responsibility to protect patients on an issue that they recognized decades ago as serious?
I believe that the FDA is not protecting us as consumers from toxic chemicals, and unfortunately the average consumer believes that they are. That's one of the problems, is we walk around in this country thinking everything that's on the shelf of a store must be safe because it's allowed to be there, and that's not the case.
Approximately 70% of IV bags in the U.S. are made using DEHP, with the majority coming from the largest supplier of IV equipment in the U.S., Baxter.
I don't think the purchasers at the hospitals are aware, and I don't even think many of the doctors and nurses are aware.
At least one major medical provider, Kaiser Permanente, has eliminated all DEHP in its IV bags and tubing. For many others, it's unclear. We reached out to nearly 30 top hospital groups and major cancer centers throughout the U.S. and asked them if they buy IV equipment that contains DEHP and whether they inform patients about it. The only one to respond was Sloan Kettering, which told us they always consider the presence of DEHP, and their main supplier is the leading DEHP-free manufacturer.
I know you'll never be able to remove risk 100%, but be able to minimize that risk as much as possible is, that should be the norm.
A norm her friend Suzanne will continue to fight for, as California just became the first state to ban DEHP in IV bags and tubing.
We have the right to demand better, and we should be pushing back and forcing companies to make better products that aren't harming us while they're trying to heal us.
Baxter, the leading maker of IV bags and tubing, did not respond to multiple requests for comment, but did say that they stand by the safety of their products. For Spotlight on America, I'm Lisa Fletcher.